outside of the public service for the discharge of the functions under the local government bodies. Those largely are the special purpose state enterprises, CISL, Community Improvement Services Limited, PSAEL, Palaseco Agricultural Enterprises Limited, the RDC, the Rural Development Corporation, and East Port of Spain Development Company Limited. 4 of them at this time. So you understand the system. Those 4 companies report to the Ministry of Local Government. But if the local government bodies would like to discharge certain functions, and for the time being, the government policy is that these special purpose state enterprises will go into an area as determined by the local government body. It will consult with the people, discuss with them what they would wish to have done in the area consistent with the development plan that has already been put in place and approved by the local government body and the government of Trinidad and Tobago. And in collaboration with the citizens, to move through and fix everything in the area that needs fixing and then come out. A pilot project had already been done in Coquia Village in San Fernando, and I assure you that that pilot project has worked well, and therefore we know that by putting the system in place, we are putting in place a system that stands an excellent chance of success. My dear friends, it is important that I draw to your attention certain other decisions that are complementary to this. That the government of Trinidad and Tobago will now divide the country into 7 areas called administrative districts. You know, in the past, we had the county council system, County St. David, County Victoria, County St. Patrick, and so on. We are going to replace that by 7 administrative districts, to which Trinidad will be divided into, Tobago is separate, and that the boundaries of these administrative districts will coincide with the boundaries of the local government bodies. Since there will be 12 local government bodies, if we had 6 districts, then there would have been 2 bodies per district. But in 2 of the cases, we found that that was not practical. One, I think, is Tunapuna Piaco, as it now stands, a modification of it, and the other is San Fernando. So what you will have is these bodies forming districts by themselves for sociological reasons, my dear friends. And therefore, we end up with 7 rather than 6. And all of them, the boundaries are similar to the local government boundaries. What that means is this, that the local government bodies now can now talk with the departments of the state that will be executing government policy in those areas. For example, the Roads Authority. The Roads Authority will be responsible for roads all over the country. But it will be structured along administrative districts so that the local government bodies could meet with the Roads Authority and discuss what is the program they want to do for next year. When they agree on the program, it is approved at the parliament and so on. The local government body now monitors what the Roads Authority will do by way of roads and drains in the area, and ensure that what the bodies committed themselves to, that they carry out an effect within the year under consideration. For the year 2010, for example, they will meet with a local government body. They will say, in your area, we want to fix this road, that road, that road, that road, fix this drain, build this, and so on. And we say, okay, we agree on that. And as the year goes on, you monitor what they do, and the local government bodies will have the authority to call these bodies in, to meet with them, and to discuss, look, this thing is not going, you said you will do this, half of the year have gone, you haven't started this, that, and the why is that so and so on. In other words, an oversight mechanism designed to ensure that what the central government institutions say they will do, they in fact carry out before the end of the particular year. (2020) vision. Do you agree with that approach, my dear friends? You understand what I'm saying? Excellent. A development control agency. You look around the country today and you see a lot of unauthorized construction. Man then cutting into the hills as though the hills belong to them. Creating drainage problems in the lower parts and the lower levels. You all aware of that? Illegal quarrying. Man believe I want gravel, so I have the authority to go in and take whatever gravel I want and so on. Our enforcement mechanisms in the state are not working well. So what we have decided to do is to set up a new development control agency which will have the responsibility to ensure that those things do not happen. And if anybody transgresses, then they are dealt with and dealt with firmly in accordance with the laws of Trinidad and Tobago. We put in a stop to that. I should also tell you that in the local government bodies, there are 3 new areas of responsibility that I find very exciting. The first is the environment. The local government bodies will now have a responsibility to look after the environment. Open spaces, they will now have a responsibility to landscape, but the way they will do that is they will get the experts to come in, design what the landscaping should be like, and in accordance with what the experts decide, they will now carry it out. So after they landscape the area, you can now maintain it by mechanical means. And when I say mechanical means, I don't mean only a weed whacker, you know, by a small tractor, lawnmower, and so on. In other words, so that you could get things done very quickly, and that a small amount of labor can go a long way in keeping your environment consistent with the standards that we see in developed countries of the world. How are we going? Nice. Let's go. Social services and community outreach. At the local level, my dear friends, the representatives and the local government bodies must be in close contact with the people. Very close contact with the people. Yeah. And if the people therefore decide, well, look, we want to run a little function in this area, the local government bodies must assist them to the extent that they're able to do so in helping them to organize these functions and to build a community spirit and a community environment. You agree with that? In other words, if we want to have a little function here, setting up a stage and so on, the local government body might say, okay, I could provide you with some drums on which you could put the stage, or I could provide you a little transport and so on. Whatever it is, we're operating at the local level in close contact with the people and the institutions at that level, the village councils and others, to ensure that an active and vibrant community life exists in all communities of the country. And the third point I wanted to raise on that matter is municipal policing. This, my dear friends, is a new and exciting area. Exactly how much responsibility will be transferred to the local government bodies under municipal policing has to be determined in collaboration with the police. We need to enter into discussions with the police to decide how much of it will be transferred from the police as it now stands to the local government body. And that police officers will be transferred to the local government bodies for that purpose. What we will have to do is now decide that all police officers in the country will get the same salary. All police officers, sorry. When I say all police officers, I don't mean all police officers of the same rank must be in the same salary range. Let me make it clear, all right? So that the policeman operating at the local level doesn't get a lower salary than the policeman operating at the national level. They are all part of the national system of security, and therefore all of them will operate within the same salary scales and within the same salary ranges. An important issue in this new system of local government is labor. An important issue is labor. How is that to be dealt with? Remember, as it now stands, we are saying that we're not getting enough productivity at those levels. We're not getting enough productivity. We spend a lot of money. We're not getting enough productivity. What the government is now saying, remember what we said at the first lecture, that the public service is an administration and not an executing agency. And therefore, the